And Woody likes the crooked cock.
That's neither here nor there. I believed in the Tooth Fairy, though, because I'd never seen her before. She always showed up with cash in hand, and she didn't even bother me about it. Like I woke up, the money was there, the dirty, bloody tooth was gone, and it seemed like a good deal.
You think that may be part of it? Like Santa brought us gifts, so we're like, yeah, I'm on board. Tooth Fairy brought us money, yeah. Easter Bunny, some like warm Reese's Pieces and a plastic egg.
Yeah.
Like it could have just been that we were willing to buy in because we didn't want to question where the money was coming from.
Yeah. I think that's it.
I remember my tooth being under my pillow and like literally being asleep, but like waking up like when my mom came in and she's like reaching under the pillow and I like grab her. I'm like, hey. And she's like, and I'm like, how much she give you? How much she give you for the tooth? $2. Nice. Nice,
like,
Mom.
She's like, you're not going to believe it,
with that bitch.
$5 fucking. She's like, yeah, I know.
She's ripping me off.
I got the pliers, honey. We got. I wonder if there's ever a kid who did that. See, that would be a great like bit in a movie or a TV show if like the parents were trying to decide, do we extend this nonsense to the Tooth Fairy as well? Yeah, honey, I grew up with a Tooth Fairy. I don't know. I think it's bad teaching a kid this nonsense. Trust me, what could go wrong with the Tooth Fairy? And then like they give the kid the $10 for the tooth or whatever, and then the kid like pulls all his teeth out the next day with pliers, like because he needs them. That'd be a great fucking bit.
So is that the amount that you got? My brother gave his kid $10 for a tooth. And I was like, I called him. I was like, bro, you're going to raise fucking shitty people, bro.
See, I disagree.
$10 a tooth?
I said 10. I said 10 because I bet that's what kids get now. I got $1991 and I got 5 of them. That's a long time.
You were getting Lincolns under the pillow?
Yeah.
Dude, there was a time like I was reaching under there pulling out change.
Oh no!
I got a fucking loony. I got like a hard loony.
I remember I lost one of the big two, one of the front teeth here. And I thought that was like, for some reason in my head, I'm like, different teeth obviously have different inherent values.
That's really smart thinking for a kid, I think. I never thought that. Actually. I was like, tooth to tooth. You're like, this one's the front boy. You better pay up, bitch.
I got $2 for that one. And that was, I think, the most I ever got from the Tooth Fairy.
That's because you probably communicated it with your parents and they were like, damn, Taylor's pretty smart for that. He wanted more for his front teeth. Yeah. Give him a little extra for this one.
Man,
I entrepreneurial kid. We like it.
Kyle, you were talking about like people pulling their teeth out. This was first grade, I guess. Like when you start losing a bunch of your baby teeth, kindergarten, first grade. I had like one of those big ones in my front, and it was genuinely pretty loose. And so I pulled it out. I think I tied a string to it, and then just put the other one on the door, close the door, and it pulls it out. No pain or anything. Right. And then like all my friends were losing teeth too. And in my head, it's like the more teeth you lose, the more mature and adult like you are, because you're maturing. And so like I would like push on the other tooth and the lower, so like the 4 big ones in the front. I would just sit there like watching TV, and I would push and I'd be like, yeah, that's a little loose. And then I would work on it and until it was like loosened. And so over the course of like maybe 10 days, all 4 of these teeth I pulled. Only one of them was ready. No. And so my first grade, my second grade, the beginning of my third grade photos, I have no fucking teeth. Like they were not even close to needing to come in, but like I was just straight up missing teeth like a hockey player for years.
Those kids were always psycho looking.
Terrifying.
That is hilarious. That is so good.
I remember I kept pulling them out, and my mom at one point was like, "Taylor, these aren't ready to come out." And I'm like, "Yes, it is.
They are. I need $1.
Bleeding.
You're not going to have blood teeth this year.
Yeah.
like I bet
get dentures.
Like
I already got big teeth.
Did you just? I mean, there's so many foods that are difficult to eat without front teeth.
Oh, it was impossible. I was side of the mouth chewing for years, and I also had a bunch of I broke my nose a couple times when I was little, and I had a fucked up sinus just from being born with a fucked up sinus thing, and so I wasn't able to chew with my mouth closed ever, until I was 7 or 8, and I broke my nose for the first time. And like my dad would yell at me all the time sitting at the table because I would be like sitting there chewing, and like I could only breathe through my mouth. My nose didn't work, and so I was like chewing, and then I'd be like in the middle about to swallow. I'm like. My dad would be
Damn.
like, "Stop chewing with your mouth open," and I'm like looking around at everyone else, and I'm like, "How do they have the ability to hold their breath this long, this consistently?"
You look like a fucking
Same-
Pez dispenser.
I was,
God,
you
man.
could see all the food in there, but
Was
I
this
remember
at the
hating
same
it.
time you didn't have front teeth? You
Yeah, I
couldn't
didn't have any
breathe?
teeth either, and so it was taking me longer.
You're lucky to be
chew.
alive.
Also,
A toothless child just gasping as they're trying to chew
I
on
remember
their
that
molars.
I remember explicitly one evening eating chili, which I hated, and eating chili and then like chewing and just like even little like 2-second chews, like because chili doesn't take long to eat, like still just eating again. I take a bite of like caramel or something. I'm dancing with the devil at that point. I might die. I might asphyxiate.
I
That was-
remember one time what that reminded me of. My youngest sister, when she was 7 or 8 years old, she got so I broke her nose with the Bible. That's its own story.
Hell
But
yeah.
I'd broken her
wow.
nose. A basketball goal fell on her. She got double black eyes, and she had broke her arm on her bike, all in the span of like a couple weeks. So she
My
had to
God.
cast 2 block eyes and one of those nose bridges.
Mhm.
My
Shit.
mom was going to the bank one day and brought her along with him. And while mom was talking, the teller behind the counter was like, "Oh, how is the weather?" Like just weird conversation. Mom's like, "I don't know. It's kind of weird." She started looking around, and the bank manager had taken my sister over the side and was like,
Oh,
"Be
my-
honest with me. Did mom do this to you?"
oh my God.
Yes, she did.
And then what was worse, because I'd broke her nose, she goes, "No, just my brother." And they're like, "Oh, does your
rip.
brother hurt you a lot?" But I thought about that because I imagine Taylor like in public with no teeth, like just
Making his parents look bad.
That's how it was.
Struggling.
Just
struggling to
looking
survive.
an idiot. That's I remember after I broke my nose for the first time and they fixed my breathing pathways a little bit, and like it took until then for me to realize that everyone else was breathing while they were chewing.
Yes, they were.
Like everyone else was doing that, and it was like, oh, I get it. It is rude to chew with your mouth open because he thought I could breathe and I was choosing not to, like being a dick.
Yeah, you thought you were just being an asshole. Doing
Which
it
is
on
it's
purpose.
understandable. I really don't like when people chew with their mouth open. It's
Something really
I ended on that note. I love the
That was the
wordplay.
best
Very
shit
nice.
I've ever heard.